Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So congratulations to Demetrius Andrade. He just dominated Willie Nelson in a very impressive fashion, knocked him out. For those of you guys who follow boxing, you know that Willie Nelson is a very tough opponent. Very strong power puncher. He's the type of dangerous gatekeeper who every now and then will upset undefeated prospects, or prospects period. So Demetrius Andrade, after coming off of a very long layoff, he goes in there and dominates this guy. The thing about Andrade is he's one of those very special fighters. He could fight on the inside, he could fight on the outside. He throws great body punches, uppercuts, jabs, pull counter punches. He can pretty much do it all. And it's funny because he's tall and long for his division as well. You couldn't really tell against Willie Nelson because he's so damn tall. But the fact that Demetrius Andrade, he's tall and he's long and he can fight on the inside and the outside is very impressive. This type of win by Demetrius Andrade, it puts even more pressure on Canelo Alvarez. Because once again, Canelo Alvarez is a 154-pound division fighter, really. He's fighting at 155, but it's no different than fighting at 154 because we all know the top junior middleweights, they would all be willing to move up 1 pound to fight Canelo Alvarez. I mean, hell, if Canelo could get Amir Khan, a welterweight, to move all the way up to 155, then he ain't gonna have no problem getting Demetrius Andrade to move up to 155. In fact, even Errol Spence said he will move up to 155 to fight Canelo Alvarez. So after a performance like this, it's really difficult for any fan to try to justify Canelo Alvarez facing someone like a Liam Smith, who coincidentally is actually holding Demetrius Andrade's title belt. That's right. For those of you guys who don't know, the belt that Liam Smith has right now, the WBO belt, is the belt that they stripped Demetrius Andrade for. So if Canelo Alvarez, the man that said, you know, he's Mexican and Mexicans, they don't give a fuck, or whatever it is he said after that Amir Khan fight, for him to say something like that, if you want to fight a real champion, not only would you be fighting the real champion, but you will be fighting the guy that actually called you a bitch. Because Demetrius Andrade not only called out Canelo when he was the champion, but Demetrius Andrade also called Canelo Alvarez a bitch. So if Canelo Alvarez has the heart of a warrior, as he believes he does, this will be a perfect opportunity for him to step up in yet another big fight and face off against the best junior middleweight in the division. Now I'm gonna tell you guys right now, the reason why the fight won't happen, and I think we all know this, I think even Canelo Alvarez fans know this, because you know all of this shit is code words when you hear Canelo Alvarez fans say there's no reason for Canelo to fight this Demetrius Andrade guy. All these fans are telling you is the same thing I'm about to tell you right now, which is Demetrius Andrade would annihilate Canelo Alvarez. There, I said it. With Demetrius Andrade's height, his reach, fighting from a southpaw stance, his terrific jab, body punches, ring generalship, very excellent ring generalship. If you guys notice in this Willie Nelson fight tonight, while Nelson was applying a lot of pressure, you seldomly seen Demetrius Andrade back up to the ropes. Why? Because instead of backing up Demetrius Andrade, he was using lateral movement. He was constantly going side to side. He was circling left, circling right. And he was confusing the shit out of Willie Nelson. That is what you call ring generalship. Now, don't get me wrong. Canelo Alvarez, he definitely has a chance in the fight. He could definitely land something and maybe catch Demetrius Andrade. But if we're looking at this from a logical perspective, Canelo Alvarez, he loses to a talent like Demetrius Andrade. If you guys look at the history of boxing, 8 times out of 10, and I'm being generous by saying 8 and not 9 times, the boxer beats the puncher, right? Brains usually always beats brawn, especially in the sport of boxing. We're talking about elite level boxer versus elite level banger. We're not talking about Willie Monroe versus Gennady Golovkin. We're talking about Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Nonito Donaire. We're talking about Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, etc., etc., etc. So going back to Demetrius Andrade, I'm telling you guys right now, this was a very impressive performance by Andrade, and I truly believe that the walls are closing in fast on Canelo Alvarez. If Canelo Alvarez faces Liam Smith, a guy that once again is holding the real champion's belt, which is Demetrius Andrade, I'm telling you right now, the backlash is going to continue to escalate when it comes to the reception of Canelo Alvarez. What you guys are witnessing right now, and I'm going to do another video on it because a lot of fans have been asking me to break it down even more and elaborate on the Black Murderers Row, but that is exactly what we are witnessing today, is the modern day Black Murderers Row. Why? Because Canelo Alvarez, who a lot of you fans are pushing as the biggest name in the junior middleweight division, while he's avoiding the best fighters in the division, what are all the best fighters doing? They have faced to fight each other. And in some cases, they're faced to fight each other over and over again, as we've seen Edeslani Lara fight Vanes Manarosian a second time. Two fighters that were both aggressively calling out Canelo. Now, Edeslani Lara, he pretty much beat Canelo. He didn't get the nod, but he beat Canelo Alvarez. Many people believe that. Vanes Manarosian, he's been calling out Canelo Alvarez for quite some time. So he's even a part of that Black Murderers Row right now, Vanes Manarosian is. So Lara has to fight Vanes Manarosian twice, right? You have Demetrius Andrade fighting Willie Nelson. You have the Charlo brothers. Now, I believe it's Jamal Charlo. He's about to fight Julian Williams. And while all these guys are fighting the toughest opponents, who is Canelo fighting? He's fighting Amir Khan. He's fighting Liam Smith. He's trying to get a Gabe Rosado fight. So while the Black Murderers Row, they keep fighting tough competition, Canelo Alvarez, he gets to fight the easiest opponents that guarantee him and Golden Boy a win. So with that all being said, once again, let's see if pressure is put on Canelo Alvarez for his level of competition. Once again, I did a poll, and later on after I do this video, I'll add the link to this video so you guys can check it out. But I did a poll on who Canelo Alvarez should face next. And before, I had options. The options, I believe, were Vanes Manarosian, the Charlo brothers, Julian Williams, and Demetrius Andrade. At first, Demetrius Andrade, he was leading the poll, and now the votes are slightly shifting towards the Charlo brothers. I'm going to do a new poll, and I'm going to go ahead and add Liam Smith to that poll. Let's see if that makes a difference. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.